While in the loading screen, and even in-game when you're waiting for minions to spawn, you have a few minutes to think about the early game. One of the first things that you should look at is summoners. You want to see if the enemy laner took teleport, and also which other enemies took teleport. Teemo took teleport this game, which is good. It means he won't have ignite, exhaust, or heal to bait you with, but you still need to check just in case they try and pull that kind of bullshit on you. You also want to check what other enemy laners might have teleport, just to see who might be teleporting up to try and fight in an all-in. It won't happen too much in bronze, but it's a good habit to get into. The next thing that you should be thinking about is what you and the enemy laner both have at level 1. Renekton has his Q, which honestly is pretty shit. It's got shit damage and a shit heal, and it's on a shit cooldown. It's just not super great early on. Teemo has 2 abilities, either of which can beat your Q. He either blinds you so you can't auto-attack him, and that does give him some decent burst and poke, or his auto-attacks just deal more than yours, so you lose the trade that way anyway. Add to that the fact that he's ranged, which is a huge tool to have early on. It means that anytime you go in for a trade, he gets a free auto as you walk up, a free auto as you walk away, and however long the trade is in the middle to keep landing free auto attacks on you. And that free auto as you walk up and as you walk away, that'll come up later, so keep it in mind. The net result of all of this is that Teemo at level 1 is a lot stronger than Renekton, so what you're going to need to do is just stand back and let him do his thing. You don't want to go up too close to the minions because he'll be able to poke you down, and you can't retaliate. He's stronger than you right now, and you don't even have the means to get close to him. He's ranged, you don't have your E. You're just going to have to sit back and deal with it. You might miss some CS, but when you kill him at level 3 or 4, it'll all be worth it. You gotta wait for your cooldowns before you go in, and you see what I mean about that free auto attack as you walk away? He just smacks you with it and there's nothing you can do. Renekton is a really cooldown based champion. You gotta wait for your cooldowns before you go in for any trade, especially against someone auto attack based like Teemo. The corollary to waiting until you have cooldowns up before you trade is wait till you actually have cooldowns to trade with. Don't trade when you have no skills. Now that you're both level 2, it's time to consider trading. Against Teemo, you still might want to be careful, because he does get his other trading ability at level 2. He'll have both Poison and Blind. Whereas you kind of rely on 3 abilities for your strongest trades, which means your strongest power spike relative to Teemo is at level 3. Because you'll have all 3 of your abilities, and he'll only have really 2 useful abilities, your comparative strength is much higher. You may want to use a potion around now, because that will let you heal up for the trades at level 3. If you're too low once you hit level 3, it'll ruin your opportunity for aggression. Ideally, as you're getting close to level 3, you'll be watching your experience bar, so you'll know exactly when you hit level 3, watching the minions as they die. If you do this, and you're very quick on leveling up, either with control and the ability, or by clicking the plus very quickly, you can start to trade immediately as soon as you hit level 3, which is when you're strongest compared to Teemo. As it is right now, because you hadn't used your potion, you're half health and you had just taken some trade damage from Teemo, you're a little bit weak. He also has a larger minion wave than you, which means this is a bad time to trade. Unfortunately, because you took so much damage earlier, you aren't able to take advantage of your level 3 power spike. So right now, your position in the matchup kinda sucks. Even though you're level 4, you're now becoming the big lizard wizard, the big boy on campus, and you should be able to start bullying out Teemo. The fact that he got such an HP advantage on you early is really starting to hurt. He has more health than you right now, and he hasn't even used his potion yet. Now, Renekton does trade a lot better than Teemo, so it is possible to fight this down. However, a good Teemo, if he's able to freeze you away from the minion wave, it means that you're not going to be able to generate your fury, which means your trades might not even be good enough to stop him. In many cases, what you're going to want to do is either recall and teleport back so that you have items and hit points, or call for your jungler. If he's freezing, you may need your jungler to come top and help you break the freeze, but freezes don't happen too much in bronze, so that's not super relevant right now. But in a lot of cases, if he's just pushing and harassing, having your jungler come top to kill him can definitely help get your lane snowballing well. If your jungler's not coming top though, you may just need to bite the bullet, recall, and teleport back into lane. That way, you force Teemo to leave, because he can't stand against a full health Renekton who has an item advantage. Sure, he's been bullying you this whole time, but that's because last time you both had equal health was when you were level 1, and you can't trade against him at level 1. Now that you're level 4 or 5, alive and you have an item, he can't stand against that. He's going to have to back, and because Renekton pushes so hard, he'll have to use his own teleport to come back into lane, and this evens up the disadvantage, and then you go into an even lane situation, which, of course, is always good for Renekton at this stage in the game. I mean, hell, look at that. You started the trade down 200 health, and you ended the trade ahead. Imagine what that would be like if you actually had items, or if you weren't so far behind in the early game, taking so much damage at level 1 and 2. As it is, your jungler is going to come top and clean up the kill, so it's going to be alright, but just bear that in mind in future games. One thing to note there in that game, because that Teemo did blow flash. Even if you don't have an exact timer of when the opposing cooldown is going to be up, you always want to keep in your head when the enemy blows flash. This is very important because it lets you do more risky plays than you otherwise would be able to, because Teemo would be able to flash out of them or flash in to punish you. Stuff like tower dives is way easier when the enemy doesn't have his flash available. And with Renekton's ultimate and his ability to get in and get out very easily, he's very good at tower dives. And with Teemo being so squishy, if you can just walk up and bait out the blind, you can definitely tower dive him as soon as it runs off, even if he's at 60% health. No, you used your W while blinded. Pretty big damage loss. It's not a big deal overall, though. You still managed to get the kill for. And with Wukong coming in, he's not even level 6 health. He's not even level 5. There's not much that he can do against an ulting Renekton. Renekton just does so much damage when he's in his ultimate, and all his abilities get fury. You can almost one-shot the guy. Easy double kill there, and it's due to Renekton's huge power spike as soon as he hits level 6. One other factor that did play into the success of that double kill is because Teemo blew his flash during that gank earlier, he did not have flash to get away once you flashed on top of him.